Okay, everyone. So now we are learning the first program on the Dev C compiler. So first of all, we are going on the file. Then afterward, clicking on the new. So here we are going on the project. Now here it is asking that, what do you want? We are working on the console application. Then C project. If you want to create a C, then click on C, or C++, then for the C++. Here I want to provide the name of project. Let's say I want to provide the name is Ankit. You can give any name of your choice. Now click OK. Now afterward you can see that it is asking us what is the path where you want to save. Let us suppose that on the desktop I want to save it. So here on the desktop I am creating one folder, and here I am saying, let's say C program. Now afterward I am just clicking on that, double click. So this is the C program folder, click save. You can see that by default it is giving you some kind of code, but I want my own program. So I will select it. Then I will just put the backspace. So whole program is deleted. Every program start with main. So here I am giving void main, and afterward bracket start and bracket end. So this is the function. Void main is the system defined function from where your program will start. Now afterward, we are providing one curly bracket start and at the end. The meaning is that whatever I am writing inside these brackets, that will be executed very first. So let us suppose that firstly I want to display my name. So for displaying the name, we are using a function. So that is printf. So I am writing printf. So printf is a function. Whatever I will write inside the printf function, that will be displayed onto the user screen or the output window. But this printf function is the part of header file. Whenever we are using the function of C programming, then we need to include their header files. Header files contain their definition. So here I am going above and I am writing stdio. This is the header file name, standard input output header file. .h. So .h means it is a header file. So before that less than sign, and afterward greater than sign. So this is the name of header file, but to include this header file, before that we will provide hash include. So here we will write hash include, which is the preprocessive directive. Then afterward less than and greater than sign, and between we will provide stdio, which is standard input output header file. .h is for header file. So here we have included this header file, which will give the power to printf function. Now supposingly I want to display my name, and we know that here I am giving Ankit. So Ankit is the name, but if I write like this, it will not print because compiler don't know who is Ankit. So here I am putting inside the double quotes. Double quotes means it will consider that it is a string. So here in the double quotes I am writing Ankit. So whatever inside the double quote is there, it will be displayed exactly. So after that I am putting the semicolon. Semicolon just end that. So after putting the semicolon, that means we want to end this line. Semicolon cannot be provided after the function, which is the main or the header file. So afterward we are going to compile this. So here we are going on the execute, then compile. Now for the compilation, it is saying that you have to save the main. So save it. Now afterward you can see that error 0, warning 0, and the file name, it is ankit.exe, which was created. Now afterward output size is given and the compilation time is given. So we don't have to bother about all these things. We have to only see error 0, warning 0. That means there is no problem. Compilation means this code is converted to the machine language. Now is the time to run this. So here we are going on the execute, then click on run. So here we can see that we are having the output, which is Ankit. So Ankit name is displayed. Let us suppose that I want to do some changes. So here I will provide one space and I am giving the complete name, let's say Verma. So what is going to happen? Again, I will go to execute, compile, then no error in the warning, execute and run. So here we can see that Ankit Verma is directly coming. I am going to put few more modification. Let us suppose that I want this Verma should be coming to the next line. Then I will provide this /n. So /n goes to the next line. So again we are going on the execute, compile and run, or we are having the option in the dev C which is compile and run directly. So click on that. Both steps will come at the same time. So here we can see that Ankit and Verma both are coming into the one another line. Now let us suppose that I want this Verma should be coming after tab space. So for that we are having the character which is /t. So now we are going to compile and run. So here you can see that Ankit and Verma, they are coming with the tab space. So this is the first program, but here we have observed that this program is different from the Turbo C. How? Because here the screen of output is holding. So for that we don't have to apply the getch function. And every time I am executing the program, there is a fresh output. The earlier output is not coming, that's why clear screen function is not required. So only difference between Turbo C and the dev C is that in Turbo C, we need a clear screen function so that earlier output should not come, and we need getch function so that the output screen hold. So in the Turbo C, it is required that we has to include clear screen and the getch, but that is not required in the dev C. Otherwise, whole programming in both the compiler is same. So now we are going and testing other things. So here we want that we should take the variable. Now understand that right now we are only displaying our name simply. But let us suppose that I want to display some value. So for that I need a memory. Now I'm going inside the program and I'm declaring one integer type memory. Integer means, let us suppose that some 1, 2, 3 or something I want to say, which is not having some decimal. So I will say int. Int stands for the integer. Let us suppose that the name of variable I am giving is a. Variable. So int is a data type, means what is the type of memory? That is integer. A is the variable. Variable means whose value change. That's why it is called variable. In this variable, I want that there should be value stored like, let's say 100. So I am saying a equal to 100. So now understand that int a, this is called declaration, means I have declared one variable a of integer type. A equal to 100, this is called initialization, means I am giving 100 value to the variable a. Now is the time that I want to display this value. So there are two options. One is I am directly showing. So you have to simply write printf, which is for displaying onto the user screen. Inside the printf, you want that this value should be displayed a. Understand that for displaying the integer value, we are having the %d. So in the double quotes, we have to write %d. %d is used for the integer type values. So wherever you will write %d, the corresponding value will be replaced. So afterward, I will put comma and I will write a. So now we are going to execute this program. So click on execute, then afterward compile and run. So here you can see that 100 Ankit Verma is coming, but these are the two different lines, printf first line and the second line. But you understand that this Ankit Verma with the tab space is starting immediately after the 100. So here I want that this line should be coming to the next. So we are going back to the code. Then afterward we are simply writing /n. So here /n will mean going to the next line. So there execute, compile and run. So now here you can see that 100 is the output of first line and next line is the Ankit Verma. Understand that a is having the value which is 100. Wherever I will write %d, then this value will be appended. So let us suppose that in the second way I want to display. Let us suppose that I am writing printf. Now here I want to say the value is 100. So how I will write? Simply I will write double quotes Double quotes means whatever I will write, that will be displayed as it is. So I will write value is. Now value is, then afterward I want to display the value. So simply write the %d afterward. Then afterward comma a. Then afterward at the end you have to provide the semicolon. Now afterward you are going to compile and run. So here you can see that 100 value is 100. Again these values are combined. So we have to give the new line character. So we are going back and before the value is we are providing /n. So now we are going to compile and run. So execute, compile and run. Now here you can see that 100, this is output of first line, simply displaying the value. If I want that value is 100, so value is %d, simply name Ankit Verma. So now we are going to understand that how this code is working. Whenever the compiler start, then first of all it is going to hash include stdio.h, means a standard input output header file is included. It will go to the void main. Inside the main there is int a. So one memory is declared and that memory name will be a. Now understand that this memory can have any of the address. Let us suppose that address of memory is 701. So we don't have to bother about the memory address. Now here we are saying a equal to 100. So inside this memory, which is the name a, we are going to store the value which is 100. Afterward we are saying printf. So here on the user screen, let us suppose that this is the user screen. So what is going to happen in the user screen? Here we are saying %d. %d is the special character for the integer type values. If I am having integer values, then we use this %d. So here, wherever this character is there, it will ask for the value. Now we have provided a, so a value will come here to the %d. That means what is the value? The value of a is 100. So this 100 value will be displayed. Now afterward, it will go to the next line. Printf means printing on the user screen. /n. Cursor was there, but after putting /n, it will come to the next line. So cursor will come here now afterward. Now it will say value is. So here it will write value is. So this will be written on the screen. Then %d. So this %d will be replaced with the value of a. And the value of a is nothing but the 100. So it is saying value is 100. Now afterward, next line, printf. So again cursor was there. Now afterward, /n. So cursor will come to the next line. Now Ankit. So whatever is written except the special character. You know that %d is the special character. Then /n is the special character. /t is the special character. Except that whatever is written will be the same. So here Ankit. So Ankit will be written there on the user screen. Then afterward you can see that one tab space is given. So it will take one tab space from here to here. Then Verma. Then it will write the Verma after the tab space. So afterward program will go to the next line and you can see that bracket over. That means program is over. So here we are going on the execute, compile and run. The output which is coming and our output which we have generated, both are equal. 100, 100, value is 100 and Ankit Verma. So this is how the program is working. But we are not satisfied till now. We want to do some more experiment. I want to learn few more things. So here we are going back to the coding. So here we have learned that we have declared the variable a of integer type. Then afterward we have given the value a as 100. Here we have used two lines. But let us suppose that I want to take both of these into one line. It is possible. So we are going here. We will simply write int. Then after we will provide, let us suppose b. I want that b should take the value 200. So I can simply say that. So that is possible. Int b is equal to 200. Now what is going to happen? If I has to display this B, now I will write printf, and afterward again, because this B is the integer type variable, so I will write percentage D for the integer values, then comma, we will write B here, then afterward simply end with the semicolon. Now we are going to run this project. So execute, compile and run. There is 100 and 200 are coming. 100 as the value of A, 200 as the value of B in the same line. So for the next line, we know that we have to simply provide the /n. So we are going back and putting the /n here. Then again, we are going to compile and run. And here we can see that the first line is having 100, second line is having 200, and then the value is A 100, then Ankit Verma. So here there are two ways of initialization. Simply initialize into the next line or into the same line. But let us suppose that I want to declare two variables together. Why should I write int A, int B every time? I need 5 variables. Do I have to write 5 times int? No. So we are going back, and afterward what we are going to do? Let us suppose that I want to declare two variables now. So I will write int C, D. So these are the two variables I have declared simultaneously. Now there is again two possibilities. One possibility is that you simply write C equal to 300 and D equal to 400. Or you can just use the same line. That is totally up to you. So here we have used the second line and the third line for initialization. So now let us suppose that I want to display these two together into the single line. So how it will happen? Let us suppose that I am writing here printf. Now afterward I am putting /n so that this output should be coming to the next line. How many variables I am having? C and D, two variables. So simply I will write %d for the first variable, %d for the second variable. Then afterward we are putting comma, then C, D. So simply we are applying the two variables. Afterward we are going to compile and run. We are having the output of C and D, which is 300 and the 400. So here 300 and the 400 are coming in the continuation, and we know that if I has to apply the next line, simply I will write /n. So we are going back. Let us suppose that I don't want next line, I want a tab space. So simply write /t. Now for the readability, it is not looking good. So for that we can provide one space manually so that we can read it. Otherwise the space is not required. So here you can see that /n is for the next line. %d will be replaced with the C, and then this %d will be replaced with the D. So this is how we can display the two variables in the same print statement. Now here we are going on the second method. We have seen that here we have given the declaration. C and D are declared as two variables of integer type. Then their values are given. But let us suppose that I want two variables, which is int E and F, and their value I want to initialize here only. So I will write E equal to, let's say, 500. Now I can simply write F is equal to 600 afterward, or I cannot write this line and simply I can write here equal to 600. Totally up to you. Both ways are okay. So here we have given. Now afterward I want to display all of them. Let us suppose that this is the printf statement, and here I want to display everything, whatever I have written till now, A, B, C, then D, E, F, everything I want to add. So how many variables are there? So first of all, %d for the A, then B, then C, then D, then E, then F. So how many variables are there? You apply %d afterward, then comma, simply write them. A, comma B, comma C, comma D, comma E, comma F. Then afterwards, semicolon. Now we are going to compile and run. So here you can see that all the values are coming after 400. You know that 300 and 400 was the output of C and D, and afterward everything is coming. So here this 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, they should be coming on next line with the tab space. So we are going back and doing this modification. We want that this output should be into the next line, and every variable should be coming with the tab space. So I am giving the tab space here with the /t, and also I am adding one manual space for the better understanding. So here you can see that we have added the /t. Now understand that these all variables will be replacing their corresponding %d. So we are going to execute in the output window. First of all, we are having A, so A is 100, then B is 200, then CD, C is 300, 400, then A, B, C, D, E, F, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600. Then value is 100, then Ankit, Verma. So this is how we can provide. Now let us suppose that I want to do one more experiment. I want that value is %d. I want that value should come between value and is. So I will simply right click, then cut, then here I will paste it. So that means wherever you will provide this %d, here the value will be replaced. So here now we are going to compile and run. So here we are having the output of this program. We have changed the line value %d is. So here value 100 is. Now wherever you are writing this %d, here the value of A will be replaced. Now let us suppose that I want to add some string before this. So I am going to cross this. Now simply you have to copy this line. So here copy this line, then afterward go to the next line, then again you have to simply paste this. Now I want that there should be my name. So here I am writing Ankit, Verma, then afterward these values should be printed after the colon. So here this is how the output will come. So now we are going to execute. You can see that in this output we are having Ankit, Verma before that, then afterward 100, 200, 300 and corresponding values are coming. So this is how these values can come. Let us suppose that here in this program I want to remove certain lines. So here I am going to cross it. Now do not select the complete line and remove. If you want that this line is creating the problem, you simply make it a comment. Comment means compiler will not read this line. So for that you simply apply /. Now you can see that this line is not as colorful as the other lines. So this is now the comment. If you are going to again compile and run, then afterward you can see that that line is not coming here because this line is made as the comment. Now let us suppose that you want to make two lines as the comment. Then afterward here we are going back. One option is that after every line you provide this /. So these line will be the comment. Or there is one more option. If you don't want that every line should be having this /, so you simply write /* in starting, and afterward where you want to end, then here you simply apply */. So here I am removing this. Now with this you can see that this whole lines are made as the comment. So this is called single line comment and this is called the multi-line comment. So here we have provided the multi-line comment. Now we are going to compile and run. So here you can see that only the A is coming which is 100, B is coming which is 200. These lines are not coming which are the part of multi-line comment, and the single line comment, they are not read by the compiler. Then the value is coming, value 100 is, then printf Ankit, Verma. So this is coming. Now we want that we should not give the value. The value should be given by the user. So for taking the value from the user, we are having the scanf statement or say scanf function. So here we are going back. Now let us suppose that after all this, I want to ask user to, let's say, give me some value. So simply I will write printf and I want to say that enter number. So I want a number from the user. So here this message will be given to the user. Now after this message, what will happen? If I simply compile and run, then here we can see that it is saying enter number. It should be coming to the next line. So I am going back. Then I am putting a slash n here. Then I am again compile and run. So here you can see that enter number and program is over. But from where the user will enter the number? For that I need the scanf function. Let us suppose that I am taking one more variable here. Now I can take the variable anywhere. So I am saying here, let us suppose x. So one variable I have taken x. In this x variable, I want that value should be coming from the user. Means when the program is running. So here we are going and writing scanf. So now scanf is for taking the input from the user. Inside the scanf, we have to write the %d because here we are dealing with the integer. So we will write %d. Then afterward, comma, what is the name of variable? The name of variable is x. Now before that you have to apply AND. What is the purpose of this AND operator? AND operator says that add the address of x, because you can see that variable a is having the address. We don't have to bother about the address. System deals with that. So whatever the address of x is there, store the value which user will provide. Then afterward put the semicolon. Now we are going to compile and run. So here you can see that program is waiting for us. It is blinking enter number. It is not over. It is waiting for some input from the user. And who is the user? I am the user. So I will enter, let's say 79. Press enter. Now the program is over. Yes, because I have not given any print statement. So I will be going back to the program. Then afterward, I will add one more line. Let's say printf. Now how to print? We know that we simply write %d, then afterward comma x. So this is how we can print. If I have to go to the next line, then I will provide /n. So to the next line, let us suppose that here I want to provide that value from user. So you write it, value from user is now %d. So this will come. So now compile and run. So here you can see that it is saying enter number. So now I am going to enter some number, let's say 99. Press enter. Now you can see that after taking the value from the scanf in the variable x, it is saying value from user. So value from user is 99. So this is how we can take the value from the user and we can display it. Now let us suppose that I don't want to work with this integer value. I want that some decimal value should be taken. So I will be going back. Now let us suppose that I want the decimal value. So here for the decimal values, we are having float. Let us suppose y. So this is one variable I have taken of float type. So float will take the decimal values. Now in the similar manner, I want to take the value from the user. Then afterward I want to display it. So simply you have to copy this code. So here copy. Then afterward you have to simply paste the code. So here I am pasting the code. Now what is the difference between the code here? In the earlier I was asking for the integer value, but here I am asking for the float value. So I am specifying so that user should not be confused. Now afterward, integer value I was taking into variable x. Here float I am taking into the y. But there is a difference. For the integer variable, we are having this percentage D while taking the input or the output. Input means we are going with the scanf for the input, and for the printf it is the output. So here we have taken the percentage D. But for the float values, we are having the percentage F. So you have to learn that. Integer value, percentage D. Float value, percentage F. Character value, percentage C. So this is how you can change your inputs and outputs depending upon the variable. So here I am changing the float value for the F, and the value from the user is F. And the variable which I am taking is Y. So here, this is how our program will work. Now we are going to compile and execute. So here we can see that this is our output window. Now here, enter number integer. So program is there on the enter number integer. Now it is waiting for me for some kind of input. Let's say I am saying 67. It is asking me integer. So integer is going into the variable X. X is of integer type. So this 67 will be stored to the variable X. Then press enter. Now it is saying value from the user is 67. So the next line is value from the user is percentage dx. X was integer, so percentage d. Now enter number float. Next line is coming. Enter the number of float. /n for the next line. Now the float value, let's say I want any value. Let's say 10.34. So decimal value is in points. Pressing enter. Now you can see that this decimal value is taken into the y, and y is of float type. For the float I am taking this percentage f. Now afterward, value from the user is 10.34. Some zero it is added because of the format. So this is how we can take the input and we can provide the output. So here in this program we have learned that how to declare the variables, single variable or the multiple variables, how to initialize them in single line or in the different lines. Then we have learned that how to declare the different data types, integer, float, and what are their special character. Just like for integer we are having percentage d, and for float we are having percentage f. So afterward we have taken the input from the user and we have displayed that. So this is the basics of the C program.